Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is May 24, 2018, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, it's a busy day for the United Kingdom. At 10 a.m. South African time, we have Bank of England Governor Carney will be speaking, and that's followed by monthly retail sales coming out of the UK at 10:30. And then at 1:30 South African time, as a follow-up to the monetary policy, ECB monetary policy meetings will be in effect at 1:30. And then lastly, Governor Carney will be speaking again, and that's following events of the day. So, he'll be speaking twice during the day. We'll take a look at the GBP in just a moment. So, I'm not sure if the first meeting is more relevant than the second meeting, but however, you just got to know that he's speaking if you do have any positions in the GBP. But let's see what's been happening in the market. So we're jumping here into the Euro USD, and we're looking at a weekly chart. And as you can see, at 60.91, we kind of like just, a stepping point of this support level right here. As you can see, we've had the support level previously set up, and we're just touching on it, but we haven't breached it. Suffice it to say, this really would be a decent place for this to bounce off. However, with the velocity that it's, been selling off at this rate, this is really a very key point to keep in mind. If we do hold the support level, we could bounce back to the 18-ish level. Okay, that could even happen today or going into tomorrow. However, if we do breach it, okay, that's obviously something that we'll need to reassert. Okay, but ultimately this is a weekly support level. Okay, with that said, that's really important to understand because we've breached this level from last year. Okay, so that's really important to note. However, we may just loiter here, okay, until we find a new, trading range to be trading with. Between the euro and the GBP, they're both falling apart against the USD. However, it's not across the board. Okay, that's what's really important to understand, is that the USD, the weakness of the euro and the weakness of the GBP is isolated to just those two currencies. Some of the other currencies we'll see, like the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen, have not sold off against the dollar. So it's not systematic. It's not, across the board. That's what's this sell-off been happening. Like we're looking here at the GBP, and sure enough, we broke this level at 136, and we, completely slid to 133. The next real support level is at these levels, 132-ish level. So, ultimately we may bounce here if that's what you're looking for. And if we do bounce, we'll probably bounce a little bit hard. But this does look like, we've been selling off quite, systematically. Okay, it doesn't look like just a nosedive. It looks like, someone's really piecing out of these positions in the GBP. So, ultimately, well, I don't think we're going back to 41, 43 right away, but that's something that, we'll have to reassert exactly what our new trading range is. But I think the first lets us first consolidate at a certain level, lets us see us, concise ourselves at a certain level, and then we'll see some sort of new range that we'll be trading in. Now, I've mentioned before that the USD Japanese yen has gotten stronger, the yen getting stronger versus the dollar here, so this is not systematic, okay? We rallied all the way to 111, we broke this 110, and we just nosedived to 109. Now, we're between the two trading ranges here, between the moving averages, excuse me, at 109.44. So I'd like to see some sort of consolidation here, okay, which I think we'll get between these two levels, all right? But that's something to look at as we trade further today. Aussie USD, looking at a weekly chart, we didn't break below this 75 level, so it looks like it's consolidating here. So if the Aussie takes us up, versus the dollar, we could see that in a nice rotation there. But this is something we got to keep an eye on, because if we do falter the 75 level, we could see ourselves, tanking further. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye out as that progresses throughout the rest of the week. Now, looking at oil yesterday, we had inventory numbers came out. No big news there, but a little bit of a sell-off there, but nothing really to, write home about. Okay, we're still above this 71.57, which was a previous resistance level. So at these levels, you have to really, look for the pullbacks in order to jump into it. Okay, people are saying that, they're forecasting $80 a barrel, which could be, actualized if we continue at this pace that we're going at. Now let's jump into the DAX. DAX has been really strong across the board, 13,000, and I think that's what really kept capitalized. At the beginning of the week, we saw the Dow Jones moving up above the 25,000 level and then receding behind it. But if the DAX continues to break out higher, I think we can see, it pull the rest of the market up. I think the Dow is just lagging behind, but I think we will play catch up ultimately. We're trading at 24,800-ish level. And if we look at some of the other stocks that are in the market, some of the big bellwethers, we'll see that they're trading much higher. If we jump in, we're looking here at the Dow Jones, just again for your verification, 24,800. But if we look at something like Facebook, you see that it's loitering back to close to its highs, all right, where it's taking up. There's some upward momentum. And if we look at Amazon as well, okay, at 16,000. All right, so there is some upward momentum as we look into these charts, as the market is solidifying. Okay, so I do expect maybe the Dow Jones to, play catch up with the rest of the market, because sometimes the stocks pull the Dow Jones up above. And I'd like to look between the DAX, between the Dow Jones, and to see where the stocks are trading to see us pull up higher. Now, jumping into Bitcoin, had a very interesting week. We broke this 2841-ish level, and we're at 7,660, excuse me. And now we've breached this level. We could see it further decline here, and our next support level is 6,600, okay, 6,625. So, with that said, we're looking at a daily chart. It's a little bit harder to look at the cryptocurrencies because we don't have that, historical data beyond, February 2017, where we gapped up to the 13,000 level. But as you can see, we look like we're getting weaker. Okay, so with that said, just keep an eye on this bounce maybe to 7,800-ish level, and then to look for a possible short. That might be a really good play as the market continues to slide. Now, earlier this week, we saw the Turkish lira really fall apart. Now, if we look at a monthly chart, this is as weak as it's gotten versus the dollar. Okay, now it looks like it's correcting itself right here, and as you can see, we've had that correctional move earlier this week on the downside. The question is are we going to continue here? All right, so we're just trading at the 30-day moving average. I'd like to see a little bit of a further bounce maybe before it corrects itself further. Okay, but this could be really a possible major play today, as this continues to maybe correct itself as the day unfolds. This is Fred Razak. Want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.